Hey kids, you're watching the Sideman Show with your host, Micheal Bear Clair. We've got a great show today, so let's get right into it. Hi, thanks for joining us at the Sideman Show. We're going to be on every week. You'll be able to see a new show with a new artist. And this week, we have Dylan Armour with his new album, Shadows. We're going to listen to a cut of it right now.
Tapping on my window, stone knocking at my door. Oh, singing in an oak tree, cackling the last encore. One more night in this holler, one more moon in these hills. Roads calling me to ramble, not many hours until
All right, welcome back to the Sideman Show. Man, I'm excited about this guest. Good friend and friend of the show, Dylan Armour, and that was Horizon that we just listened to off his new record. And welcome to the show, Dylan.
Oh, thanks for having me, Bear.
So Shadows is your new record.
Yes, sir.
So what was the idea behind the album?
Well, this whole Shadows title come from the last song on the album. And when we wrote it, I had several different names, titles I had in mind. And it was, your first record, so it's a glimpse into the future, of what you want to create. So that is a shadow, is a reflection of a light of the thing where you're headed, So that was the art or the idea.
That's cool.
Behind the album and the
I love
title.
Black covers. I'm a sucker for a black cover.
Man, me too. Me too.
Or a white one. I like the white album, too.
I saw those, man. Yeah, absolutely.
That was kind of brilliant, if you think about it, because everybody else was making these really crazy album covers, and they just did pure white.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've got a design for the vinyl. And I haven't had this printed up yet, but the vinyls, the actual record will be white.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you got the middle piece that's black and, the cover, and then it's all white. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to cover, so we'll get right into it. Tell us about where you were born.
Georgia, Gainesville, Georgia. Grew up in a little town called Banks County, Alto. Very small.
How small?
Everybody, including the sheriffs and the mayor and everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
All your families.
How big was your graduating class?
I was actually homeschooled.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah. So I never really had a graduating class.
What was your family life like? Were you musical?
Man, I grew up hearing music. Some of the first memories I have is music at home with my mom and dad. And my mom's side of the family, they always sang. Great
church bands? Or
gospel bluegrass.
Yeah.
And great singers.
See, I listened to this record, and it's hard for me to imagine that you were playing bluegrass because I remember Cody had sent me a cut. Cody Lepo. Hi, Cody. Cody, a very dear friend of both of ours. Cody had sent me a cut, and I immediately called him back, and I said, man, James Mitchell sounds good. And he goes, dude, that's him. It's Dylan. Dylan played all the guitars. I would have sworn it was James Mitchell because Cody usually used James. And I said, man, he really played his ass off on this record. So, Cody goes, well, Dylan will be glad to hear that.
Absolutely.
Said, well, tell him I said it because, I meant it. It's a great guitar album.
That's a tremendous compliment.
It really, all the songs, the composition, and of course, Cody has become a major producer.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, his drum sound, his playing has gotten just better and better and better over the years, and his production is crazy good.
He's such a great guy to work with too. He he gets it and always goes for it on every song.
How hard did he push you on this record?
As hard as anybody could push anybody. it was yeah. A lot of times he would turn off the track and look at me. It's like, you want to come back to it? It's like, yes, sir. It's like, all right, you got this.
All right,
it's not good enough.
Was he hard on you though?
Very hard on me. Yeah.
But I think in Cody's defense, he saw in you something very special and wanted to pull that out.
He had a first record I've ever played electric guitar on. I haven't been playing electric guitar very long at all.
Really?
Maybe 2.5 years, I'd say.
That's it?
Maybe 3 years now.
Folks, when you hear this record, you're not going to believe that.
Well, it was a big learning curve for me, tracking in a studio, and with an electric instrument. I've done recordings with acoustic stuff, but never with
So it was all
electric.
bluegrass.
Yeah.
And you played dobro?
Played dobro for several years. That was kind of I started out playing a mandolin, I believe, was the first instrument, and that was 6 or 7.
How did the singing come about?
I always sang harmony with my parents or my grandma or grandpa, always, and I never really sang lead.
Yeah.
I never really done that, and I started with a little bar band at home and playing and started singing most of the material. I'm like, I enjoy this,
Yeah.
I never had really sang lead and done it. And
So did you do the usual bar band cover
Oh, yeah.
songs and
Yeah.
the 4-hour gigs?
yeah, you load in at 6 o'clock
Yeah.
and load out at 1.
Yeah.
Or
4
2.
hours turns into like 8.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
2. Yeah, and it was fun. It was all fun. I don't miss that too much though.
Yeah. Well, it's especially nice now because as an artist, you'll probably be doing 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes at tops.
Those are so much easier
Oh, man.
than the 4-hour.
Trying to stand on your feet for 4
Oh
hours.
my gosh,
is pretty tough for me anyway. I'm old and fat.
it gets long. It
Yeah.
gets really long. Yeah.
So do you find that where you're at in your career now is really where you want to be, or what's missing for you, or what's there that you're really enjoying?
I love to be able to take an idea and put it out for the world, but it's you always want a bigger connection with your audience, and so if I could have an achievement I'm after, it would be that just to connect with more people through the
You're one
music.
of the few artists that I've heard say that. Most people are like, well, I want to have hit records and I want to have a big video blow up and I want to, a lot of artists these days, I think, are missing that point of why you're here doing it.
It's all about the connection, but yeah, of course we want big records and hit songs. And
Well, sure, everybody does. I don't know how you do that anymore in this world.
me neither.
I don't think anybody else does either. That's the problem.
We just do what we do and put it out there, and
Well, you got to do it for the art. You got to do it for the love of what it is you were born with. And God sure gave you some gifts, man. I mean, you're a great writer.
I really appreciate that, man.
In fact, let's listen to another tune here. I want our audience to hear. I like Common Sense.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to be right back after we listen to Common Sense by Dylan Armour. Stick around.
My granddad was born in 1944. Seems to me they don't make 'em like that anymore. It's tougher than a leather glove. He put his faith in God above and an old Ford truck. He set me down the day I turned 17. He said, the whole world's gone crazy, boy, beats all I've ever seen. The price of gas is through the roof. You can't trust what's on the news. You need a lot more than luck. It's been 10 years since he passed away, but I can still hear him sing. You love the Lord with all your heart. If you can't be where you want, be happy where you are. And don't go to fighting unless you know what you're fighting for. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Don't believe in nothing you hear and half of what you see. Remember all the ones that died, that freedom don't come free. A boy grows up to be a man. Every child is part of God's plan. They ought to get a chance. The hard day's work is good for you, but don't get in over your boots. You love the Lord with all your heart. If you can't be where you want, be happy where you are. And don't go to fighting unless you know what you're fighting for. Common sense ain't that common anymore. But now I got 2 kids of my own. Before I know it, well, they'll be up and grown. And I don't worry about who they'll be or where they'll go, 'cause I know they know. You love the Lord with all your heart. Do unto others, now that's the place to start. Don't go to fighting unless you know what you're fighting for. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore.
What a killer song that is. And, how did that come about?
That song was wrote by a friend of mine from Tennessee named Chris Hennessy.
Oh, yeah. We talked about Chris earlier. I love Chris.
Oh, man. Chris is a great dude. And he played that song at a show down in Georgia that I was playing. It was him and Sparky Mateka.
Yeah.
Skinner.
Yeah.
They was doing a show and we was playing with them. And Chris pops this song out, and my grandpa had just passed away like a week before that, so that was real fresh. It was still very much on my mind, and so he pulls this song out and plays it on the show, and it just mesmerized me. I was just sitting there, just locked into it. And when he got done, I was like, "Hey, I want to sing that song." He said, "Well, cut it, record it." I said, okay. And I played it for him one time before. He said, "You need to record that song." So I ended up sending him, like when I tracked it, I sent it to him, but I didn't call him and tell him, "Hey, I'm recording that today." Right. I just cut it. I sent it to him and he was like, "Man, that's great. I really enjoyed listening to it." But I had to cut it.
It's so well done.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, did you guys, when you set out to record that, what was Cody going after on it?
I come in and sit down in the studio with an acoustic guitar and played it down, and that was what you hear. It was very organic. It happened very easily. You just
told me you did one take.
One take.
It.
And
it doesn't happen very often.
Well, some things are meant to be, and those are the ones I enjoy cutting the most.
Well, he said a lot of times he would just ride the fader.
Yeah.
And make sure he didn't clip or anything because he knew he had gold and he didn't want to ruin it. But that's pretty amazing. Because in this day and age where everything's auto-tuned to death and everything has to be perfect, and it's kind of nice to hear real music.
I had a guy that I talked about recording with, and my dad did as a young kid. The guy's like, you can record great music on a tape player, one mic on a tape, and you'll wear the tape out listening to it. So, and all the technology we have nowadays is so great and so much more advanced, of course. But that rule still stands.
Yes, it does.
If it's great music, then you'll listen to it over and over again. If there's flaws, if they're meant to be there, leave them in there.
Yeah.
It's music. You'll love it. So.
And the organicness of real music versus concocted music.
Yeah.
Or contrived. I hate contrived.
Yeah.
Cliches. And right now, unfortunately, the radio is full of cliche. I don't even know how to describe some of the trash that I'm hearing. And I'm not trying to be negative.
No.
I'm just being honest. I think I know a lot of great writers.
Yeah.
From over 40 years in the business, I've known a lot of great writers. And they're writing still. To this day, they're writing these beautiful songs that are never going to be heard.
Never be heard. No. I've had friends that are great songwriters, and they'll send me song after song, and I'm like, this is some of the greatest music I've ever heard, and nobody will ever hear it. And it's such a shame, man.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a good example of this. I asked Chet Atkins one day. I said, Chet, who do you think the best guitar player is? And he always told me, Reed, Jerry Reed. He'd always say, well, Reed, I think Reed's the best. And then that day he goes, well, best guitar player in the world is probably some kid in Kansas that works at a car wash that you'll never hear of.
It's very true.
And boy, was that profound.
It's very true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that.
Oh, absolutely. Let's
listen to another tune. How about... 16 Tons.
Oh man, yeah.
You got to do it. I love that song.
That's kind of
killer version too. Yeah. You guys are going to love this. So we'll be right back after 16 Tons.
Some people say a man's made out of mud. A man is made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood, skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, won't you call me son? 'Cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
All right, welcome back to the Sideman Show. We're with Dylan Armour. That was 16 Tons off his new album, Shadows. So when you were cutting 16 Tons, because I know Cody does some pretty cool drumming on it.
Oh, man. It's awesome.
And, let's talk about, for a minute, the people that played on the record, because they're all buddies of mine, too. You got Josh Schilling, Mark Crum. Who else was on it?
Josh Schilling, Mark Crum, Cody Lepo, of course. And I actually had some background vocals from Aaron James.
Yeah.
And Carol Chase from Skinner.
Wow.
Two
of the best singers in the business right there. How was that, singing with them?
It was magical, man. Very surreal. Magical. Yeah. To hear those cut in the studio together, it was amazing.
Well, Aaron's like a kid to me, too. And that's Erin's my girl. I mean, I tried to help her with her label deal, trying to get her bought and stuff. It was just a weird time in Nashville. That girl's got so much talent.
Such a voice, man.
And a writer.
Oh my gosh.
Can play anything.
She's wrote quite a few songs on this record. You know, we co-wrote a bunch, and
we couldn't ask for a better co-writer.
Oh no.
And a sweeter person.
No,
I love Erin.
Such a great person.
Her and Cody are both like kids to me, and I love them both dearly. But yeah, boy, Josh Schilling, what a keyboard player!
One of the greatest, I think.
Beast.
Josh, I listened to Josh as a kid before I even discovered rock and roll.
Mountain Heart. Yeah,
Mountain Heart,
you were into bluegrass. Yeah, Mountain Heart. What a band. Man,
it was a gateway to me to find the Allman Brothers. I grew up I was born in 2001, so I missed all of the stuff that I wanted to hear, So I heard Josh playing Whipping Post.
Yep.
And I'm like, number one, who's this guy? And,
and what is this?
What is this?
Yeah.
And therefore I discovered the Allman Brothers. And
oh, man, Josh, and he's equally a great B3 player.
Oh, my gosh.
As much as a keyboard player. I mean,
and I'm a sucker for an organ.
Yeah, me too. And
love B3,
he played on Kevin Kugel's records.
Oh, yeah.
Had him on there. And Josh is so funny because he's on the road with Winona.
Yeah.
And so I call him and I go, hey, bud, I got some songs for you to do. And he, send them over.
Yep.
He's on the road. And he cut them on the bus, I'm assuming. It had to have been on the bus and cut the tunes because I had them all the next day. And you know how that is. When you're on the road, you got nothing but time. So it might have been a nice diversion for him just to sit down and play the songs.
He's an absolute beast, man, which I couldn't ask for better guys to cut the whole record with. Crumbs,
I'm a huge Mountain Heart fan, too.
Oh, man, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, when my brother Frank was sick, he was dying of cancer and stuff. Josh and I talked a bit back then, and that music really got me through that whole thing. Because Josh was sending me tracks and listen to this, because I just told him, how much I love the music and how it affected me. Because if I love music, I'll hunt down the people that do it, and I'll let them know, hey, this is like life changing.
Yeah,
I think it's important for an artist to know that what they do matters. Yeah, would you agree? Or
absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't know as an artist. A lot of times you're putting it out there and you're going, God, I hope people like it. And you really don't get a feel.
I think you run it, and I've had this thought before with even writing a song and you're talking about the song. There's kind of a gray area there to where I don't want to say too much because it's like, how did they interpret it? Because it means this to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it might touch your life in this other way that I can't never understand, and that's fine. So I want you to interpret it your way.
Yeah.
There's a gray area there. This was my side of it. How did it touch you?
Do you think, I believe music is very spiritual.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe that, it's one of the common voices that can actually talk to a soul. Where language fails, music touches, and the relationship with God, and I'm not going to get all preachy on here or anything, but I think it's important to know that relationship with God is so important when you're trying to put music out and being vulnerable, being real. You and I talked about this last night, when you're in there doing your vocals. The only way you're ever really going to connect with people is you have to be completely and utterly vulnerable. It's brutal.
You're opening up your soul for the world to look in. And, if you don't go there, then you're chumping through it. It's
and
not
I think you wasted the effort. If you're, if you can make a great record with all the instruments, everything, but when it comes down to the human voice singing, if it isn't as open as everything that's being played,
you're throwing your money away.
Yeah, you really got nothing out of it.
Go fishing that day or something.
Yeah, you might as well drop it down an elevator shaft.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's show us your shirts.
Yeah,
These
man.
are really cool.
We got some new merch coming out here pretty soon too, but we have shirts and hats, and I don't have none of the hats with me or nothing. But yeah, Actually, this one is for you.
Oh, hey. We could, you could camp in this thing.
Well,
5 eggs.
coming from Georgia to Iowa, there's quite the temperature change. So I cuddled up in it on the way down here just to keep
I'm
warm.
going to leave that on the table. But thank you. I
Absolutely,
appreciate that. Gifts on the Sideman Show are always appreciated. So that's really cool, and I will wear it proudly. And I love the album.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
So when, in your process, in your writing, does it come quickly, slowly? How does it work for you?
I've wrote songs driving from town to my house, and I have took months to write a song. You don't force it when it's given to you. You write it down.
What inspires you the most?
Could be a melody, could be a line, could be an idea. It could be an emotion you wake up with and you're trying to put it in words and form this this idea and this emotion into a musical, track. So many things can inspire it. Something you see, something you hear, somebody could say something, so, and I don't never force it. I've wrote 2 lines a day, or wrote 2 lines and threw them in the trash can.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that wasn't it,
How many songs have you written, you think, to get these 10?
Actually, the 10 songs on this record, I wrote them as I went.
Oh, really?
I wrote them as I went.
These weren't done before?
No.
That's risky.
Wrote them, it was very risky. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very risky. But I literally wrote as I went. And a lot with Aaron. I'd call and say, I've got an idea, this is where I'm wanting to go here. And we would write it. And
She's a machine.
Absolutely. And some of the songs took to the end of the album to back up, and I need this song here,
Yeah.
before we got it, but yeah.
I love that one song she wrote. It's funnier than hell. Liar, liar, trailer fire. Or something.
Yeah.
Her songs are hilarious.
She's got so many great songs that I've had the privilege of hearing. It's amazing. And so fast, such a fast writer.
I know.
And so good, so deep.
Some of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. And then she'll write stuff like that, about trailer park fire and
the ultimate songwriter. Yeah.
Redneck stuff.
Absolutely.
She's really funny.
Oh man, I've had the privilege of getting to play some shows with her, and it's always a ball.
Yep.
Man, it's always
what
fun.
a musician.
Oh, dude.
So like when you're crafting your solos, because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Do you play off the melody? Are you a melody guy? Is that mainly what drives your solos, or how do you come up with your solos?
All emotion. Wherever I feel the song needs to go is where my brain takes me. I don't sit here and think, well, okay, I'm going to, play this over top of that, which I probably should. It's probably the right way to do it, but I don't.
There's no right way.
It's just what pours out of me for the part,
Well, I was telling Cody the other day, I said, he reminds me a lot of Hal Ketchum, and in a good way. In all the best ways, because Hal was like that. He was very emotional, and he would walk out on stage and just stand there with his arms open, and own the crowd. Kind of like Jamie Johnson does. Yeah. When Jamie comes out, he's got him in his hand from the get-go. Yeah. I know you've seen him several times.
Oh, absolutely, too.
Yeah. Hal was one of those characters that could just take any song and make it his own, because he would sing it so open where the whole world could just look in and see all the scars, everything, Mm-hmm. And you have that same quality, in my opinion.
Thank you.
And I mean that in the highest possible respect, because you know how much I loved Hal.
I hope to always have that.
We'll keep that. If you keep that, I think keep God in front of everything you do. And always be thankful every day for the gift that he gave you. Because you got a hell of a gift, kid. You're young.
Thank you.
You've got a long road ahead of you, which I'm anxious to see where it takes you.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's do another song, because I love all the music on here. How about Rock and a Heart Place. It's a cool title. Tell me about the title.
That was one Aaron James actually wrote for me.
Okay.
It's just so, it feels good. The song just feels so great. And actually, there's a funny story about that song. We started playing it in the studio, and I'm like, I want to do a slide part. I didn't have a slide.
Okay.
I did not have a slide. And so we start scrambling in the studio trying to find something I can play slide with. So there was, glasses and
the obligatory lighters.
Yeah, So finally there's a big ladder pops up, a plastic big ladder, and I pick it up and I'm like, and that's what you hear on the track is the big ladder. We left it. It's got a cool tone, So it was a big lighter on that track. You need to get a big
lighter endorsement.
Yes, well, that would be great.
All right, Vic, if you're listening, give the kid some lighters and some money. He needs to get nachos when he gets gas at the bus station. Anyway, let's go listen to that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little more about where you're going and what you want to do.
Awesome.
I will be right back on the Sideman Show. Thanks for watching.
Waking up to your touch, all my sunshine is here. Coffee cup and a kiss like sugar and silk. Grab my guitar and get on down the road. You make it easy to stay and way too hard to go. Never want to say goodbye to your sweet smiling face. Right love at the wrong time.
All right, welcome back. Man, what a great song.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
This is a fun album and one that needs to be heard. So where can people get it?
You can listen to it on any of your streaming platforms, your Apple Music, your
So you're
Spotify,
out there on everything.
everything, all the platforms. Yes, sir.
Are you getting rich?
Oh, yes. Making thousands of, no, nothing.
Thousands of pennies.
Yeah, pennies.
Yeah. I think I told you last night we were talking about Peter Frampton posted that video. He had like 50,000 streams. It could have been more. I'm probably misquoting it. But it was like a $1,500 check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking Peter Frampton.
Yeah. There's no money in that world.
No.
No.
We were talking about this last night. And
Yeah.
it's kind of a cool subject because I don't have the answer, but I know somebody's going to figure out how to fix this business because right now the artist isn't making anything. I don't know how most people are really doing it anymore because when I was coming up, we could play a week long at a place. We played week-long gigs.
Right.
You were 5-6 nights at a place for 2 or 3 weeks, then you move on to another place. That doesn't exist anymore.
No.
So I don't know how you youngins are doing it.
It's, and even with all the digital world that we live in, your records don't mean a lot. Vinyl is making somewhat of a comeback.
Vinyl's making a huge
which
comeback.
is great. I love it.
That's what I grew up on. I didn't have YouTube, so I had to put records on.
Yeah.
And, lift the needle, bring it back, try to learn the solo, lift the needle, and you'd wear needles out.
Absolutely.
Like crazy, and I drove my parents crazy, I'm sure, trying to learn all those songs. But now you just go to YouTube and there's some 10-year-old Asian kid that smokes your ass,
Yeah. So many great pickers in the world, but yeah, it's very weird. And we also not a lot of people are putting out albums, not with the art thing behind them. It's a single
singles.
world. Yeah. It's very, very weird to me because I always wanted to create an album,
Yeah.
So they're like, we just need to put out singles now. I'm like, well, okay. Not what I'm wanting to do here. You know? Every album should be a journey, I think.
Well, that's what I loved. When I was a kid, you go to the record store on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And the new records would be in, and you pick up an album, and you go home, you'd listen to the whole thing while you read cover to cover all the print on the inside of the album and on the sleeve. There would sometimes be print on the sleeve.
Well, I grew up with no TV, no internet. So once a year, my parents would take me to Tennessee, and we would go to Ernest Tubbs' the record shop
downtown.
And so that was my one trip a year, and I would always get a couple of CDs. That was the only way I had of listening to music. Mostly bluegrass or Jerry Douglas records or Alison Krauss records, you know. But I couldn't wait to get home and put them in and listen to them. That was the only outlet I had into, you know, to put that into my soul. So I couldn't wait to get home, and I'm putting them in. I listen to them over and over. But nowadays it's a click of a button. Yeah. Anything you can imagine, you know.
And you live in that world. You're not very old. How old are you?
24.
You're 24 years old. I have shoes older. But they're, you know, the influences I hear on this record, though, sound much older. I mean, I hear influences from the 70s, even some of the 60s a little, 70s, 80s. And you're only 24, and without having that reference, how did you come into that?
It was so weird how it happened, because a lot of this music, even when I started tracking this record, I didn't know existed. I grew up in a world listening to bluegrass gospel or bluegrass, or, you know, I hadn't dove into the rock world. I had music in my brain I wanted to create, and I start playing this. Well, this kind of's got this feel. Have you ever heard this? I'm like, I don't know this music.
Yeah, so I know what you mean about not having. All I had was a record player. Right. I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have any of that stuff. And I often wonder how different my life would have been if I could have had YouTube.
Well, me as well, because, you know, I remember listening to CDs and you know, finding a song that I wanted to learn or whatever, and playing it over and over, putting it on repeat.
Yeah.
You know, and my parents would come in there, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, it's time to go to bed, you know.
But, well, we were laughing about that because I used to fall asleep with the guitar on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'd be flat on my back, amps buzzing because my hands aren't on the guitar, and you know, it's just wide open. You know, hell, I probably would have scared myself to death if I'd have hit the strings. You know? But yeah, that kind of practicing.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had it, though, because I remember as a kid, I loved Eric Clapton.
Oh, yes.
And Clapton had said, well, you got to do 10,000 hours before you're any good on your instrument. And so in my pea brain, I was like, okay, that's going to take me this many years, this many hours a day. And I did it. I stayed on it. It was like, I'm not going to stop until I get that. And I know you're a very determined human being that way too.
Well, you know, I never had to make myself practice or nothing. It was always like, if I was home, and still to this day, if I come in and I've played all week, I come in and I sit down and I'll find something to play. You know, I won't sit there long. I don't have a guitar in my hand or some instrument. You know, it's just what you do. You know, it's part of you. It's not I know a lot of people that that practice too, like, but you got to have that drive, like you're talking about. Like it was in you to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, it
wasn't a choice.
We're going to the gym this morning, you know.
Yeah.
It just was. You just played, you know.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah.
I never knew any different, and I know you're the same character. You just get up in the morning and it's like, okay, I'm going to play today. What am I going to learn today?
Yeah. Yeah. Or you might hear something, or with me, a new record that you picked up, and there's something that's like, oh, I got to get right now. You know, everything stopped, and it's like, okay, I got to learn this.
Well, see, you're too young to remember, but I remember when Van Halen came out.
Oh, my gosh.
And that first album, you know, had Running with the Devil and all that on it. And I was in a record store on First Avenue in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. My life changed because he goes, well, I got this new record you might like. You know, I said, well, pop it on. Because back then he would just open it and put it on and let you hear it, you know.
Yeah.
And I heard Eruption for the first time.
Yeah.
And I remember going, shit, I got to learn this somehow. I got to learn. I had no idea he was finger tapping. I had no clue. I'm going, how is he doing it? You know? And hell, now you got kids that'll just whip onto YouTube and can play everything Eddie ever wrote. Kids, little kids that are learning, you know, doing all the finger tapping and stuff. And
I think it is great that, and maybe we're some of the last people to ever be able to say this, but Eddie didn't have that. And I think to create something different, it has to come out of you and not something that you're learning note for note off of YouTube, because, you know, to come in and create something that is organic, that you can't be pulling from anything at that point. It's got to flow out like Eddie. So many great, or I mean Clapton, his whole style. There's Billy Gibbons. That list goes on and on.
Yeah.
All these tones that nobody taught them.
Well, we were talking about Greg Martin last night.
Yeah.
Greg's from Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, totally. I mean, that whole band is steeped in the blues. I mean, it's blues.
Yeah.
And Greg's got the best live tone I've ever heard. I mean, I've heard some really great, like Bonnie Raitt's tone is incredible.
Absolutely.
You know, Keb Mo.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But Greg Martin's Les Paul into a Marshall thing, I've never heard anything like it.
It's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to beat that.
He just does it. It makes it look so easy.
That's his voice. You know.
So tell me, what are your plans for the next? Give me a 5-year synopsis. What's Dylan Armour going to do over the next 5 years? What would you like to see happen?
You know, at this point, I want to be as busy as I can. You know, I am young. I do have time. And I do have the energy.
How's your patience?
My patience are, well, some days are better than others, you know, but it's hard to have patience.
It is.
It's hard to set your mind to say, okay, this is where we're at now, you know, because I'm always looking into the future to where I want to be. And sometimes you miss things that are right under your nose in the midst of all that, you know, but, so my patience is stretched to the max most of the time, but you know, there's so many things I'd love to do. The Ryman, the Red Rocks, stuff like that, and a lot of tours I would love to go on and do.
The Ryman, when you step on that stage, I don't care who you are. Yeah. If you don't feel all the people that have been on that stage and played there, and you feel, you know, you're looking out at the church because it's a church. Exactly. And there's something so sacred about it. I mean, I love the Opry. It's, you know, it's a great place to play too, but there's nothing like the Ryman. No, I would agree 100%. It's very magical. And those venues that are magical, if you have any inkling of being an artist, you're drawn to those places. It's like, you know, and you bring your thing to it and it accepts it. That's, you know. I get that. You didn't change Merle Haggard at the Opry, no more than you did when some of these other people played, or George Jones. It's still George Jones, and that accepted him. So it's, you know, it's very magical in those places for the artists to be who they are, and it's great. It's greatness. The Ryman has this vibe, that is unlike anywhere else. You know, you walk into the dressing rooms, you know, where Minnie Pearl and Grandpa Jones and everybody, you know, that was where everybody got together and hung out. Or at the Opry House, Room 1, you know, back in the 80s, you know, you could go in there and sit with Roy Acuff and hear Roy's stories, which were always, you know, really, really cool. Yeah. And it was a whole different vibe, though. The two buildings were completely different. And I think anybody that's played the Opry would tell you that. It's played both. Yeah. I've had a privilege of talking to several people that have, you know, and you'll get there. It's definitely a huge. I was glad to see Jamie on there. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I got to see him at the Ryman the other day. Him and John Conley. Oh, and, John Conley is Emmylou Harris. She came out and did some stuff. Yeah. It was. You know how many careers she has started and launched? I mean, Skaggs. Yeah. Rodney Crowell. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, Albert Lee. It goes on and on and on. Such a
such a great talent there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans out there?
Well, listen to this record, and this is a part of me, and so take what you can from it and support us and come see us at every
get out there and support
show.
him, man. You see him out on the road. Get out there and support Dylan Armour, because I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. When you go to this show, you're going to be thoroughly entertained. I'd like to end it with the title track, Shadows.
Oh, yeah, man.
I think that'd be a good way to take us out today, and I can't thank you enough for driving 13 hours to be on the show. That was pretty crazy.
It's a pleasure, honor to be here, man.
And we were happy to have you. I hope you enjoyed breakfast. And...
I did. It was great. One of the greatest cooks in Iowa right now.
Thank you.
Or anywhere
Checks
for that
in the
matter.
We missed Cody Leppo. I was hoping to get
yes.
Cody on. Unfortunately, a friend of ours passed away last night. And Robbie Turner, one of the greatest musicians ever, has left the building. So kind of a sad day that way. But, we're not going to let anything be negative. Robbie sure wasn't. He was a wild man. So Heaven just got a really good steel player today.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for being on the show, and we're going to take it home now with the song Shadows. Thanks for being on the show, brother.
It's a rainy night in Georgia. Nothing bright but the TV light. Empty sheets don't bring me comfort. Leaves my heart as cold as ice. I'm lost here in your memory, like a drunken with his wine. Wish I held the pen and held the power to rewrite this nightmare in my life. I'm here in the shadows. I'm a beggar for your light. Shine your golden velvet on my darkest night. The devil had me blinded. I should have known it from the start. Heaven is your body.